Welcome to JPK School. Today we are going to solve shortest path with alternating colors. So there is red edge and blue edge, and the red edge have A and B, and blue edge have U and V. And there is like answer array of length n, and answer x is the length of shortest path from node 0 to node x. And then if we can't find, that is -1. So it will go like this. For the first case, 0, 1, 1, 2, and the blue edge is empty. So if you want to go 0, you already have the 0 here. 0, and then for the 1, it will be 0, so like one step to 1. But whenever you finish this 1, you have to go to the blue edge. That's why it's -1. So for here, after go to 0, after finish 0, 1, you start like 1 from blue edge, but since it doesn't have 1, so 2 will be -1. So you will be clear after you watch the code. So we are going to initialize, we are going to make function for make map, and then you will get edge, and initialize empty map here, we will return map. And then for like inside, we are going to use for loop x, y of edges. And then if there is no edges x, if there's no map.x, then we are going to initialize map.x as empty array. And we are going to push y inside the map.x. And then since we have two cases for red edges and blue edges, we are going to make two map, and we are going to make color map. And so as we said, color map red will be make map red edges. Color map blue will be make map blue edges. So if you look at console.log and for color map, here as red and blue, blue it will be empty because blue edge have nothing, and red one 0 will go to the 1 and 1 go to the 2, like this. So the reason why we initialize color here is map is we want to switch color every time. So we are gonna initialize result array. It will be new array and n fear -1. And then we will return this result. And then we will make queue, and we will make count. And we will gonna make visit for, we don't want to go some point like we already visit. So we will make visit for checking we already visit or not. And we will push in queue the red for, and then 0. We will start by 0 because here will be shortest path from node 0 to node X. And then we will push to blue as well. And since we already push it to the queue, we will mark it as visit. So visit.add and red 0. Visit.add blue 0. And then since we have q now. So while q dot length is greater than 0, we are going to do something. First of all, we are going to initialize a new q, and then later q will become new q, and then count will be increased every while loop is done. And we are going to use for loop for color index of q, because we push this color and the count of q. And then if result index will be, if result index is -1, then result in will be count. Otherwise, we are gonna do method mean the count and result index. So compare, and which one is smaller, we are gonna get that. Oh, this one will be index, because this is start index 0. And then if no color map dot color dot index, then we will continue, because in this case, color will be blue, but index start by 0. There's no index, so we don't want to check anymore, so we will continue. And then otherwise, if we have, since we pushed array inside, we are going to loop again. So let path of color map dot color dot index, and we are going to initialize a key on the top for adding inside the digit set. So it will be color and then index, and we are going to add, and then we are going to check if digit dot has key, then we don't want to push in new queue, continue, and then we are going to add this key, and then we are going to push in new queue dot push. So here will be new color and path, and the new color will be, if color was red, then it will be blue. If color was blue, it will be red. Mm. 0, -1, -1. So for this one, red 0 and red 0, blue 0, q.rand, new q, and color index of q. Red index will be, red index is -1, will be count, and then method main. If color map doesn't have color index, then we will continue, and then we will loop through the color map, color index, and the key will be color and will be path, because we want to set this one as key. That's it. So for this question, we will make map for red edges and blue edges. So we get X value, and then we initialize empty array in map.x, and we are going to push y value in map.x, and we will make color map for red color and blue color, because like every time we want to switch the color like this, and we will initialize the result array, and then we are going to fill everything -1, because if it's not existing, we want to set as -1, and we want to initialize q for loop through, and we want to initialize count as 0, and every time when while loop is done, we want to increase the count, and we initialize visit for checking we already visit or not. And since we start for a 0 index because it is by node 0, so we push in q for red 0 and blue 0, and we add in visit because we already visit in like this, and we initialize new q in while loop, and every time when q is done, we are gonna set q as a new q, and inside this for loop, the result index, if result index was -1, then we are gonna set to count, and then otherwise we are gonna do math min, like which one is smaller. And if color map, the color index doesn't have, then we will continue. In this case, it doesn't have blue 0. And since it was array, so we are gonna loop through the color index, and we will set the key value on the top, and we are gonna add in the visit, and if the visit has the key, we are gonna continue because we already visit, and we are gonna set new color as, if color was red, then we will change it to blue. If color was blue, we will change it to red. So every new queue will have different color with that path. That's it. Thank you for watching today.